The NBA had been big on empowerment. Now it appears to have shifted to the NFL. Is player empowerment good for the NFL?
It's great for the NFL. I can't see one wrong thing that can come from player empowerment in the NFL, in all of sports. Let's just be real about this. In success and in failure, player empowerment is what we all want. Let's just talk about in failure first. Like a player is just demanding, I gotta go. And then the player is allowed to go. And that team loses, and you say, see, that's what you get, fool. Here's the thing. You know what just occurred in terms of fan interest, in terms of fan engagement, in terms of the business of the NFL overall, its umbrella, and more importantly, it reshuffled our imagination of the sport and every team we see. That's the beautiful thing. We don't know what's going to happen when you talk about a Davante Adams going to the Vegas Raiders. We don't know how it's going to turn out. They may not make the playoffs this year. And you're like, you made the playoffs without Davante, then you don't. But right now, New Jersey sales. All of a sudden, all those fans in Vegas, oh, my God, we got Davante Adams. It just increases our engagement, our energy. But what about in success? Like you see Matthew Stafford. He didn't really kick up dust, but he had the power to go upstairs, say, I want to be traded. And they said, yes, we'll trade you to the Rams. And he wins a Super Bowl. Show me where it's a problem in terms of in success or in failure, where a player is saying, I want to go somewhere else. You allow that player to go. Fans win. Business of the NFL wins. And maybe that same team may win.
I love player empowerment. I love it. I'll get to why in a second, because here's the problem. Sometimes you don't need to know all the details of everything. And I think the fans may be robbed by all of this player empowerment. You at home, the viewer, might be robbed by all of it. What do I mean, Sel? Every Friday, 3:30 p.m. for 4 consecutive years in the fall, I went to Terry's Chicken and I ordered fried gizzards. Every Friday, football team. I ordered fried gizzards. We would have a team meeting at 4 p.m. Then we would all travel to the hotel when I was playing at the University of Texas. We'd all eat the gizzards with some hot sauce. It's love. After I finished college and I go to the league, I told my cast in the league about this tradition. One unfortunate teammate told me, hey, Acho, you know what gizzards are? Nah, big dog, but they smack. It's just like chicken, right? Google it. I Google fried gizzards. Whoa. It's the digestive tract.
Oh, okay.
So, I didn't need to know what was in the product. I just wanted to take the product. The fans are now understanding what is in the product of the game they love, the National Football League. And that's why Deebo Samuel had to come out last week saying he was getting death threats, saying he was getting racially insensitive messages, because the fans just want the product. They don't want to know what is in the product. You know how it would be when you go to your favorite restaurant and you start dining. The one thing I hate, which I think the world started doing 2 years ago, go to Cheesecake Factory now, Sal. Go ahead and order that Louisiana chicken pasta if you want to. But right next to the ingredients, you know what they're going to tell you? What? The calories. And just right then and there, you make that pivotal decision to not crush that Louisiana chicken pasta, because now you got to realize what they must put in it. The only downside to player empowerment is now the fans realizing that this game ain't a game. This game is a business. The greatest game on earth isn't actually a game at all. The greatest game on earth is one of the biggest, most profitable nonprofit businesses in the country. That's the only potential downside.
It's not a downside, though. I understand exactly what you're saying. What's wrong with eating the digestive tract? You eating his thigh, you eating his breast, you eating his veins.
You want to eat the intestines?
Yeah. It's part of it. Like, look, I don't do that. If Farmer John don't touch my stuff, I ain't doing it. Like, I used to go to... Man, I don't eat gizzards. I don't eat chitlins. I don't eat nothing. I eat simple. I eat like
pig's feet?
No. I eat like a 4-year-old, dog. Chicken nuggets. And maybe a taco. Like, with ketchup. Here's the thing. I used to go to my aunt's house in Paris, California. Not Paris, France. Paris, California. Dusty. Like, worse than Riverside, San Bernardino together. Just dust storms, right? Outhouse. She had an outhouse. She didn't have a bathroom. She had an outhouse. And she had chickens. You know, we growing up, and we go fishing out there. I know where the fish at. They in the water. Why is chicken tonight and we got one less bird running around here, Auntie? And she used to put it out there. I ain't eating that. Farmer John got to touch it before I do it. What you're talking about is no one should see how the sausage is made.
Yes, sir.
Right? But this is good for the fans because they realize they're partners. They're not just fans. They're partners in this business and seeing how this sausage is made. The cap goes up every single year outside of pandemic because of the partnership with the fans and their engagement. And why is that happening right now? Because players are speaking more, demanding more in their actions, and fans are exposed to more and digesting more and consuming more and wanting more. Fan engagement's at an all-time high. Social media, fan experiences, etc. I'm going to the Chargers Draft Fest. The entire stadium's going to be full of fans just to watch them pick their first-round pick. You know that there is a draft party, official NFL draft party, but now the teams have their individual ones. That's all fan engagement. Let me tell you this. When you look at it from that perspective, you start to realize every team, and that's what I always tell you when you look at the game for the business and the money, every team wins. One team wins the championship, but the other 31 are winning in terms of lining their pockets. And who is helping them line their pockets? It's those fans who are partners watching that sausage be made.
Now, I don't disagree with you. I love personally fighting fire with fire. The NFL owners rip up a contract after 2 years, even though it's 4 or 7 years. So now, why can't a player who's under contract for 4 years, after 3 years, tap out? I love it.
Yeah.
The NBA, they're big on player empowerment, and the NFL, the players that actually empower themselves, they typically win. Now, they might lose temporarily in the court of public opinion, but they do end up winning. Think about Jalen Ramsey. He gets himself out of Jacksonville, and within the next 5 years, he's the highest paid cornerback in cornerback history, and he has a Super Bowl. So typically, players that are of player empowerment, they win. Think about Deshaun Watson. Obviously, we're not talking about the civil allegations, but he goes from having $156 million in Houston, says, I don't want to play at Houston again, and gets a raise of $80 million and is fully guaranteed. So players that are empowering themselves do win. The question then thus becomes at what cost? But let me ask you this, because I know you say you like to honor your contract because you want them to honor theirs.
I do.
How do you feel now about every player truly that has any sort of leverage or pull can just be like, you know what? I'm done. Don't you think that will start to create too much havoc in the NFL?
Before I answer that, I just got to give props to Deshaun Watson because I've criticized a lot of his steps. And David Mulugeta, his agent, they won. But let me tell you why they won. Not so much the fully guaranteed contract you just mentioned, and not so much he had the big contract in Houston. He didn't play last year and got paid. I have never in my life seen an NFL player pull that one. Like that, to me, fully guaranteed, I knew it was coming. Kirk Cousins got a fully guaranteed. To me, the big contract in Houston, yeah, he was a baller. He didn't play and got $10 million. Where they do that at, Sway? How, Sway? That was crazy. Respect. Here's the thing. This is all heading towards a greater place. Because now all of these contracts are going to be seen for what they really are. Production in the moment in real time. Contracts used to be kind of like stoic, almost Stone Age in the sense of, all right, we got you from hello to this moment in time, and we hope you perform. If you don't, we're going to tear it up. And if you outperform it, good luck trying to make us tear it up, but we'll talk. Now, we're getting rid of that. Just like in college sports, the NILs is starting to head us towards the next step. After NILs explode, then the next step is going to be, what's my base? I came to your school, you gave me tuition and board. No, what's my base? I'm not coming to your school. So it's going to go from NIL to NIL and base. And that's 5-10 years away. NFL's heading right towards our next level, which is in the NBA. Michael Jordan, LeBron James, 1-year deals, 1-year deals. The greatest players, 1-year deals. You're going to start seeing that in the NFL. The only problem is we got an injury rate. Ain't nobody trying to take that 1-year deal, bro. Need that money.